Imagine this, it's the year 2045, cities glow brighter, cars move without a sound, and the sky above is home to floating satellites that silently capture sunlight and beam it back to Earth as clean energy. No smoke, no pollution, no power cuts. Just pure, endless light turned into power. Sounds like a scene from a sci-fi movie, right? But this is no fiction anymore. It's the vision of what scientists call space-based solar power. For decades, humanity has struggled to fully harness the sun's potential. On Earth, clouds, nighttime, and atmospheric interference always get in the way. But what if we could collect that sunlight directly from space, where the sun never sets, and send it to Earth wirelessly? This idea could completely redefine how we power our world. Forget fossil fuels, forget climate change. If we master this, we might just achieve unlimited clean energy. Think about it, a power source that never sleeps, never pollutes, and never runs out. Wouldn't that change everything about how we live, travel, and survive on this planet? The concept might sound futuristic, but it's not new. Back in the 1960s, an engineer named Peter Glaser first proposed the idea of capturing solar energy in space and transmitting it back to Earth. At that time, the technology didn't exist to make it real, rockets were expensive, materials were heavy, and the world wasn't desperate enough to try something so bold. But today, everything has changed. We have reusable rockets, lightweight solar panels, and communication satellites that already beam signals across the planet. Scientists from NASA, the European Space Agency, and even private companies like Caltech are racing to turn this vision into reality. In 2023, Caltech actually launched a prototype satellite that successfully demonstrated the wireless transmission of power from orbit. A small, but historic first step. Imagine that, a beam of energy traveling through space, safely reaching Earth, and lighting up a bulb without any wires at all. And here's the twist. This technology doesn't just power cities. It could one day send energy to disaster zones, remote islands, or even other planets. So, how does it actually work? Let's simplify it. A satellite equipped with giant solar panels would orbit the Earth, constantly absorbing sunlight. The captured energy would then be converted into microwaves or laser beams and transmitted to receiving stations on the ground, massive antennas known as rectennas. These stations would turn the microwave energy back into electricity and feed it directly into our power grid. It's the same principle as your Wi-Fi router sending data through the air. Except here, we're talking about sending power. And don't worry, the beams are not dangerous. They're carefully controlled and spread out to ensure they're safe for people, birds, and the atmosphere. Here's the mind-blowing part. A single space-based solar power station, the size of a few football fields, could generate gigawatts of electricity, enough to power entire countries. No land use, no weather issues, and no carbon emissions. Just clean energy from above, 24 hours a day. But if it's that amazing, why aren't we doing it already? The answer, as always, comes down to cost and complexity. Building, launching, and maintaining giant solar satellites is incredibly expensive. We're talking about thousands of tons of material that must be transported into orbit. Even with reusable rockets like SpaceX's Starship, the logistics are daunting. Then there's the challenge of maintaining precise alignment between the satellites and the receiving stations, a task that requires cutting-edge AI and robotics. The energy beams also lose a small percentage of power as they travel, which means we must make them incredibly efficient to be worthwhile. Yet, despite all these hurdles, progress is accelerating fast. The falling cost of space launches and the rise of advanced materials like ultralight solar cells are making the dream closer than ever. The technology is no longer science fiction, it's becoming a scientific goal. And here's a question for you. If it meant unlimited clean energy for everyone, would you support building power stations in space, even if they change the way our sky looks forever? The potential benefits are staggering. Space-based solar power could eliminate the need for fossil fuels entirely. No more oil wars, no more blackouts, and no more dependence on weather. Every country could have access to the same power source, sunlight. This could change global economics forever, leveling the playing field for nations that currently struggle with energy poverty. Just imagine rural areas in Africa or isolated islands in the Pacific finally receiving constant electricity, not through cables, but through beams from orbiting satellites. It could also power electric aircraft, space colonies, or lunar bases. NASA is already studying how this technology could support future moon missions by beaming energy from orbiting satellites directly to lunar habitats. It's not just about saving Earth's environment. It's about powering humanity's expansion beyond Earth itself. Think about that for a second. The same sunlight that's been shining for billions of years could become the engine that drives our next great leap into space. Now, let's talk about safety. Because yes, people often worry. Won't those energy beams be dangerous? It's a fair question. After all, the idea of beaming massive amounts of power through the sky sounds risky. But scientists assure us it's not. The microwaves used for power transmission are similar in intensity to the signals from your phone or Wi-Fi router, just focused more precisely. The beam spread and control systems ensure it never harms living things or aircraft. In fact, if a bird flew through the beam, it wouldn't even notice. The technology also includes multiple safety cutoffs that instantly shut the system down if anything goes off course. It's safer than most people think, and ironically, far safer than burning coal, oil, or gas. Because while people fear invisible beams, the invisible gases from fossil fuels have already killed millions and destroyed ecosystems. Maybe the real danger isn't the beam from space. It's what we're already doing here on Earth. One of the most exciting aspects is how this technology could reshape global politics. Imagine a world where energy is not owned by a few oil-rich nations but shared among all. Countries could buy power directly from orbiting stations rather than fighting over natural resources. It could redefine trade, diplomacy, and even peace. Wars over oil could become relics of the past. Economies could stabilize. Climate targets could finally be met. Space-based solar power isn't just a technological dream. It's a potential key to a more balanced world. But there's also a darker side. What happens if a few powerful nations control these satellites? Energy could be weaponized, monopolized, or cut off in times of conflict. The beam that powers cities could also be turned off to cripple economies. So, while the promise is bright, it demands global cooperation, transparency, and shared governance. Something humanity hasn't always been great at. Would we use such immense power wisely? Or repeat our old mistakes, only this time from orbit? The road ahead won't be easy. We'll need international partnerships, new infrastructure, and laws to regulate how power is transmitted from space. Engineers must design satellites that can withstand decades of radiation, temperature swings, and space debris. The first operational system might take 15 to 20 years to become mainstream, but every year we're getting closer. Countries like Japan, China, and the UK are already running tests and prototypes. China has publicly announced plans to have a working space solar power station by the 2030s. That's less than a decade away. Once the first beam successfully delivers significant power to Earth, the energy race will transform overnight. The world's biggest industries, from oil to automotive to telecom, will all be forced to adapt. It could be the dawn of a new space economy, one where sunlight is no longer something we depend on only by day, but a resource we own, day and night, forever. And maybe, just maybe, this is how we finally break free from the limits of Earth. If space-based solar power becomes practical, we could build satellites not just around Earth, but around Mars, or even in deep space to power human colonies. Picture humanity living among the stars, powered by light that's captured and shared across the cosmos. No cables, no pollution, no scarcity. Just a civilization fueled by the universe itself. That's not just an energy revolution, that's an evolutionary step. The future of energy might not lie under the ground or in the oceans. It might be shining right above our heads. And the only thing standing between us and that future is the courage to build it. So, as you listen to this, think about it. Our ancestors once lit fires to survive the night. Then we built power plants, wired cities, and created machines that turned fuel into progress. But every step came with a price: pollution, destruction, and division. Now we stand at the edge of something greater. A chance to rewrite humanity's story, to power our world cleanly, endlessly, and peacefully. It's not science fiction anymore. It's the science of tomorrow. And maybe, just maybe, the next sunrise you see won't just be lighting your sky. It'll be powering your home from space. If this glimpse into our energy future fascinated you, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel where we dive deep into the innovations shaping tomorrow's world. Because the future isn't coming someday, it's already on its way.